All right, guys, so this next problem that we have is from quiz 3. So this is from quiz 3 Khan Academy, and you're going to get questions like this, and you guys need to use conjugate here. I'm going to do another one with factoring, and so what happens now is when we plug in, okay, you're going to plug in the 3. So if you plug in 3, you get 3 minus 3 square root of 4 times 3 plus 4 and then minus 4. So this inside will be 16. So you get 0 over 0. Okay, this is called indeterminate. Form. This means a limit exists. Okay, here I did direct substitution first. So, okay, so now we want to use the conjugate. Okay, so we're using conjugate. Okay, so I'm going to multiply top and bottom. What I want to do is change this middle sign here, okay? So I want to multiply top and bottom, my bad, by square root of 4 plus 4. Now don't change the inside of the root, just change the sign in between the two, okay? All right. Now from here, when you multiply the denominator, so the numerator, since that wasn't my conjugate, I didn't do anything with it. I kept it exactly how it was because something eventually will cancel out. In the denominator, I multiplied by the conjugate, so what's going to happen is like a difference of squares, right? Because those two, the plus and the minus will cancel out, and you're going to get just the 4x. So basically the root cancels out, and you get that in the denominator. The negative 4 times positive 4 gives me negative 16. So let's simplify that. You have the limit as x approaches 3. Keep this the same. And over here, let's simplify. So we get 4x minus 12. If you notice here, I could factor out a 4 in the denominator. And I'll get that x minus 3, which is nice now because we could cancel out the x minus 3. And we are just left with okay, now by direct substitution, we would get square root of 4 times 3 plus 4 plus 4 divided by 4. So in the numerator we get 12 plus 4, so 16, so 4 plus 4 is 8 over 4, which we get 2. So after you use the conjugate to get here, we did another direct substitution, and then the limit was found. All right, let's move that up. All right, I'm going to show you again another one with the steps. For this limit question. Okay, so on this one, first thing you do is you always substitute in first. So you got 3 squared minus 9 times 3 plus 18, right, over 3 minus 3. So here 9 minus 27 is negative 18 plus 18, so we get 0 over 0. So again, your steps here were direct substitution, and then here's indeterminate form, which is 0 over 0. Now we got to pick what we want to do. This one I want to factor. So I'm going to do x minus, what do we got? X minus 6, x minus 3 over x minus 3. So let's cancel. We're left with the x minus 6. Now we could do direct substitution, and we get negative 3. So again, here is another direct substitution, and then the limit found. Okay, so I just want to go over the steps, because when you get to that quiz 3, it's a little tough. So step 1, direct sub. Step 2, intermediate form, so we have to factor. So that's 1, 2, 3, step 1, step 2, step 3 is factor. Then step 4, once we finish factoring and simplify, we direct sub again, and then the limit is found. Okay. The only other thing on quiz 3 that I want to go over is this squeeze theorem that they have. So if they give you like f of x is equal to x over sine x, the graph of that function would look something like this. Okay, so for squeeze theorem, if you're picking two functions that you want to help you find the limit, they must both approach the same number that our limit right here would approach as. Like if we're looking for the limit as x goes to 0 of this x over sine x, we know that that is equal to 1 based on the graph. But the squeeze theorem, what it does is it kind of, if you could pick two functions, one greater than it, one less than it, that both approach that same number. Whoops. So let's make this purple one go like this. All right, and then let's make an orange one, you know, let's say it, so we want it bigger. So let's say it goes like that, and then like this, right? So you have something like that, where you could see like both these two functions approach that same height of 1. So this would be okay, because let's say this is G and the purple one was H. Since they both approach the same number, then they're okay. Now what happens is, I'll do it again. Okay, what happens is if you have the open circle, so there's our f of x. On Khan Academy, they might have one that, something like that, and then maybe they have another one that does approach the 1 like this. So in this situation, this would not be useful, because this top function is approaching 2 instead of approaching 1. So you got to make sure on this squeeze theorem which one would work. Okay, just be careful with that. If you have any questions, you could always email me. Thank you.